Have you ever looked at a lifeguard perched up in that chair and wondered, what does it really take to do that job? Well, today we're going to break it all down. We're doing a step-by-step guide on how to become a certified lifeguard right here in Israel, using the American Aquatics and Safety Training program as our roadmap. But let me ask you something first. Are you looking for a job that's more than just a paycheck? Something that pushes you, physically and mentally? A role where you get the skills to be the person who steps up when it really, really counts? Because honestly, that's what being a lifeguard is all about. And while saving lives is obviously the biggest reward, let's be real, this is a serious job with some pretty competitive pay. Now, the certification is from a U.S. provider, so you'll see prices and pay sometimes talked about in dollars. But depending on where you are and your experience, you can expect a really solid hourly wage. It's a tough job, and you're compensated for that level of responsibility.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's the game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the why. What makes this such an important role? Then we'll hit the nitty-gritty, what you need to qualify, the actual skills you'll learn, the whole certification process, and then the fun part, how to kickstart your career.
So first up, the lifeguard calling. And trust me, this is way more than just a summer gig. It's about filling a really critical need in communities all over Israel. The demand for properly trained lifeguards is huge. I mean, think about it. From local pools and summer camps to those massive water parks and crowded beaches, they all need pros on duty. A certification like the one from American Aquatics is a big deal. It's widely recognized and pretty much opens a door to all these different jobs. All right, so you feel the call, you're ready. But hold on. Before you can even start the main training, you've got to prove you have the basic skills in the water. You can think of it as your entrance exam. First things first, let's talk age. You have to be at least 15 years old by the very last day of the class. Honestly, this makes it an amazing opportunity for high school students to get some serious experience and responsibility under their belt. And now for the physical test. It's broken into 3 key parts, and each one simulates a part of a real rescue. First up, you've got to swim 300 yards without stopping to show you have the stamina. Next, you tread water for 2 whole minutes using just your legs. This proves you can stay afloat while keeping your hands free to help someone. And finally, the big one, the timed event. You have to dive down, grab a 10-pound brick, and bring it back. This one directly mimics the strength and speed you'd need to rescue a person. So, you've passed the prerequisites. Awesome. Now you're ready for the real heart of the program. This is where you go from just being a strong swimmer to becoming a professional rescuer. The entire certification course packs a punch. We're talking 26.5 hours of intensive training. It's a big commitment for sure, but it's a mix of classroom learning and a ton of hands-on in-the-water practice. The goal is to make you ready for pretty much anything. And just look at the skills you'll walk away with. It's an incredible range. You'll learn everything from the right way to enter the water in different scenarios to really complex rescues, like when there are multiple victims or someone is underwater. You even practice how to get out of a grab from a panicked victim, which is super important. Now, a huge part of the training focuses on handling potential spinal injuries. This stuff is absolutely critical. You'll learn how to stabilize someone's head and neck right there in the water, using techniques like backboarding to make sure you don't cause any more damage. And your training doesn't stop at the pool's edge. A massive piece of this certification is getting fully trained in CPR, AED use, and first aid for adults, children, and even infants. You really do become a confident first responder, ready to handle emergencies from choking to serious bleeding. And this training really works. Don't just take my word for it. Here's what a recent graduate, Sarah, had to say. The instructors were amazing. I felt fully prepared when I applied for my first beach lifeguard job. That feeling of preparedness, that confidence, is exactly what the course is built to do. So, you're pumped to learn the skills. Let's get down to the practical side of things, right? The logistics of actually getting yourself certified. So the investment for the entire full certification is $395 US. And hey, if you're signing up with a group from a camp or a school, they do offer discounts, which is a nice perk. They're also really flexible with scheduling, which is key. You can knock it out fast with an intense weekend course, or if you're busy with school or work, you can take evening classes. They even do private courses if you've got a whole group of 10 or more. And you're probably wondering where these courses are. Well, they're offered in a bunch of places across Israel to cover all the main regions. You can find classes in big hubs like Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, and all the way down in Eilat, so it's pretty accessible no matter where you live. It's also really important to know which track you need. The full certification, that's for anyone who's brand new to this. It's good for 2 years. But if you're already a lifeguard and your certification is about to expire, you can just take a shorter recertification course to get up to date. All right, you put in the work, you pass the tests, and you've earned that certification. So, now what? Let's talk about where this can actually take you and how to launch your new career. Your options are seriously diverse. You could be working on a high-energy beach patrol, keeping people safe at a quiet country club pool, or even get a year-round job at a place like a YMCA or a swim school. There are even junior lifeguard programs out there which are a great first step for teens. And the bottom line is employers are actively looking for people with this certification. We're talking community pools, summer camps, hotels, national parks, YMCAs, private clubs, you name it. They trust that this piece of paper means you have the skills to keep people safe. So in the end, this is about so much more than just a job. Getting certified opens the door to really meaningful work. It builds skills like leadership and quick decision-making, and it gives you the genuine confidence to act when an emergency happens. Which really just leaves us with one final thought. Just picture it for a second. There's chaos, people are scared, and someone is in trouble. You have the training, you know exactly what to do. The only question is, are you ready to be the one who acts?